We just had some leaks come out exposing what the newest English Pokemon set is going to be called, and it will be Ascended Heroes. We also got a great illustration rare leak that you probably saw in the thumbnail. So we'll be taking a look at that and everything that we currently know about the set, and also we'll do some speculating about what we can expect from the future of this set as well. So make sure you all stay tuned till the end. But let's start off by appreciating this Psyduck illustration rare. Now, we just got a Psyduck from Destined Rivals, right? So we got an illustration rare Misty Psyduck not that long ago, but I am here for it. Give me more Psyduck. I think this is an absolutely adorable card. He is just floating in the ocean. Got the sun rays on him. I am here for it. Give me a Psyduck every set. I am not complaining. Let me know in the comments if you guys like this Psyduck a lot as well. I am not complaining at all. Sometimes, you know, there can be some fatigue of like, okay, this Pokemon just got a card recently, and, you know, it's like, oh, I don't want to see another one. But this is not the case for me. I think this card is absolutely adorable, and I am here for it. So Psyduck illustration right out the gate, looking really great. The set also, too, keep in mind, this is going to be a very large set. Look at the set number here. We're at 193 before secret rares. So this is going to be a very big set. And we just had the official announcement of the set. This is coming from PokeBeach, and like I mentioned earlier, it's called Ascended Heroes, and this is going to be releasing in English on January 30th. And something that's interesting about this is I guess the way that they were able to find out the name early, because the set hasn't been officially announced yet, is that major retailers, I don't know if it was like Best Buy, Walmart, Target, whatever it may be, they are already starting to load up product like on their website on the back end, getting ready for pre-orders. So we should be seeing pre-orders happen soon. I don't know if that's going to be this week or next week. We don't exactly know. I will speculate a little bit at the end of the video on when that might be, but that's how they were able to pull the name Ascended Heroes. It was in the product listing essentially. So that's what we know. So we'll be getting a lot more information about this set soon. This is obviously the English version based off of Mega Dream, which is the Japanese high class set that's actually coming out later this month. And it's a huge set. It's going to be similar to your Prismatic Evolutions. Actually, it's coming like a year after Prismatic Evolution. So it's going to be very similar as far as it being a specialty set in English. So there will be no booster boxes, right? We're looking at, I believe they said, as far as products go, you can expect an Elite Trainer box, a premium poster collection, tech sticker collections, trainers blisters, and a special collection. And they say this list is subject to change. So this is obviously coming from, like I mentioned, Mega Dream, which is starring Mega Dragonite. This is the Mega Dragonite card that we've seen so far. So we don't know. Obviously, there should be a special illustration rare of Dragonite. We haven't seen that yet. So that's going to be very exciting. And it also is going to combine some of the cards that Japan is doing with their theme decks. They're doing 100 theme decks. So we're going to get a little bit of a combination of those in our English set. So a very big set. And then obviously we've seen these cards previously announced before as well. But it really brings back to those older megas where you have the text flying across. So these cards will be included in the set as well. So very exciting there. And then obviously we did see the pack art and the Japanese box art before. So you can kind of know what to expect from the pack art here. And like I said, Mega Dragonite is like the prominent figure, but there's also Ho-Oh, Mewtwo, Electros, Lucario, Hawlucha, and a Terastallized Pikachu. So that's very interesting. So we'll speculate a little bit on that in a second. But also, in case you missed it, we also got Gengar is in this set as well. Just in case you missed it, this is the Mega Gengar card that will be included. I mean, and you can see how big this set is going to be. Like I said, based off of the set number, 193 before secret rares, and we're already at 240 by the time we get to Gengar here. So we don't know exactly how many illustration rares or special illustration rares will be in this set, but depending on how big of a set it is, if it ends up having a ton of SIRs and IRs like, or SIRs like Prismatic Evolutions did, we could see some actually pretty difficult cards to pull if it's that big as far as SIRs go. I doubt we're going to see, over 30 SIRs, but it is possible. It's looking like a very big set. So it'll be very interesting to see kind of how that pans out. And it's looking very stacked. I mean, Mega Gengar, this card has been maybe a little controversial. Some people maybe didn't like it as much, but I feel like for the vibe overall, I think people are really going to like this card moving forward. So we do also have Mega Gengar in this set. So a very stacked set out the gate. We do have some more to talk about, but before we go any further, I did want to talk about the sponsor of today's video, which is PokeNotify. PokeNotify is a notification service in which you can get notifications sent directly to your phone for the latest Pokemon drops at all major retailers. We're talking Pokemon Center, Best Buy, Walmart, Target, wherever it may be. Also in-store drops as well. So it kind of lines up good with this new set. We don't know exactly when Ascended Heroes is going to release or the pre-orders, but we could expect them. They could be as early as this week. Traditionally, it follows, they do the official announcement and then like within the next 24 hours it happens. But, if you want to stay up to date on when stuff is dropping, check out PokeNotify. There will be a link in the description and a free 3-day trial with a discount code if you guys want to check it out. You can try it completely free. And if you don't like it, you can always just cancel and, not give it a go. But it is the notification service that I use. And a lot of the times they even are like way ahead. They're like, hey, possible Pokemon Center drop in 30 minutes, like get ready. So it's really great to have that like extra warning time. So that's what I use for my notifications. So check out PokeNotify. There will be a link and discount code in the description. But let's get back to the cards. We also, on top of like all of those, I feel like all the cards we've already talked about have been like, pretty great cards, like big bangers. And then we have N's Zekrom recently announced from the set as well. This is not a special illustration rare. This is just a regular illustration rare, but you can see card number here, 210 out of 193. So getting a lot of love there as well. The set's looking pretty crazy. And this is another one where obviously, N and Zekrom just recently got a lot of attention from, Black and White. So we just got cards coming out, and once again, I don't know, like comparing it a little bit to the psyduck fatigue, like is there some Zekrom fatigue? I don't think so because this is a cool card, and this is obviously an illustration rare and not a special illustration rare like we got from the Zekrom before. So I'm not complaining either about additional cards like this. So Zekrom looking good for the set. I did want to compare to a few other cards that we have released. Here's the Misty's psyduck just as an example. This is the one we got from Destined Rivals, in case you missed it. Currently around a $50 card. Now, this card has been dropping pretty big in price recently. What was the peak? It was as high as $76 in early October. Now it's down to around $50. Still holding up pretty good for an illustration rare. Not particularly difficult to pull, but obviously a great looking card featuring Misty and Psyduck. Around $51, $52 currently on TCG Player. So just a little bit of an update. It's dropped 21% just in the past month. Now, when it comes to Dragonite, I wanted to speculate a little bit on the pack art that we see right here, right? So Dragonite hasn't gotten really a card since. I mean, obviously Dragonite was featured in 151, but he didn't get an IR or an SIR. Dragonite really hasn't gotten a card like that since Evolving Skies. And so that's why I wanted to kind of bring that up. And he's obviously the main focus of the set. So he's definitely going to be getting an SIR. And this is the last really good card that we got of Dragonite, and it's a home run card. I absolutely love the Sleepy Dragonite from Evolving Skies. $420 currently. It has been declining. It was as high as $500 back here in September. Currently around $420. Lowest listeds right now are around the $400 range. So it's been dropping recently, like most cards have been. A little bit of correction after some crazy growth. If you look at the 1 year charts, cards still up pretty big. 165% on the year. So still looking really good. A year ago, a $158 card. So Dragonite should be getting an SIR in the set. It would be very interesting. Mewtwo also featured on the pack art on the Japanese side. And we do know that obviously we just got Team Rocket's Mewtwo from Destined Rivals. This card has been dropping as well as kind of most stuff has. Current market at $480. However, it looks like you can pick it up lowest listed around $420 and $430. So some additional dropping happening there on Team Rocket's Mewtwo. At one point, it was about $600 or just under in late October. So about a month ago is kind of where it peaked at almost $600. So Team Rocket's Mewtwo definitely becoming more affordable. So this would be interesting to get an SIR of Mewtwo now. And you'll notice too that if we go back to the pack art for a second, it just looks like regular Mewtwo. It's not, like Mega Mewtwo. So I don't know if we're going to see, that that with the text coming across, like we saw before, like with some of these. I didn't know if we were going to get like a Mega Mewtwo with this, or if we're going to get another SIR, or maybe it's just an IR. I'm really not certain. Let me know what your guys' theories are in the comments as far as like some of these other Pokemon. But because we just got Mewtwo like not that long ago. Once again, it's like a popular Pokemon that I would not complain about to get another great card of, but it's just kind of interesting to see that he's on the pack art. So maybe he's just on the pack art and he's not getting something big. So I don't really know. Same thing with Ethan's Ho-Oh. Right now, we just got it from Destin Rivals, a special illustration rare. And right now we're looking at that card right now. It's down around 15%. This card has dropped in the past month. Current market price of 205, however, it's continuing to drop. You can pick this up for around 185. So a big drop in price on the Ethan's Ho-Oh recently. So once again, I don't know what that means for Ho-Oh moving forward. If it's an IR or an SIR, you would assume, that we'd get something based off of him being on the pack art, but maybe not. Maybe it's just like a decoy play. I don't really know what to expect, right? And so also too, when you look at this pack art, the Mega Gengar card that we pulled up recently is an absolute banger of a card, but Gengar is nowhere to be found on the pack art, right? So that's kind of interesting. Obviously, we thought that the Gengar really should have been in Phantasmal Flames. It would have fit a lot better with the whole, the Phantasmal part. Could have been Gengar, and then the Flames could have been Charizard, but they didn't do that. And he's not on the pack art here, so that's very interesting. But just to go back to Gengar, I know Mega Gengar is a little different, but the last really big, good Gengar card we got, obviously, was from Fusion Strike, the VMAX, right? And this is an absolute stunning card. People go crazy for this card, and rightfully so. It's a great artwork, alternate art from Fusion Strike, and this card has held up really well. We just talked about this the other day, so I won't go too in depth on the price, but it's around $750. It hasn't really dropped a ton. It's holding up really great. So the Gengar VMAX is the last good Gengar card that we got. And then, interestingly enough, too, we noted that the Pikachu on the booster pack is a terastallized Pikachu, which we just saw, specifically terastallized Pikachu, in Surging Sparks. Obviously, we've got a special illustration rare, number 238. So it's kind of interesting, though, there, obviously Pikachu doesn't have a Mega. I mean, you can't get Mega Pikachu, but you do have Mega Raichu. And there is a Mega Raichu DLC coming out for Legend ZA. So I don't really know exactly what to expect from that either. This card has been dropping too recently. Did hit a high of around 350 in October. Now it's down to around 320. Lowest listed's under 300 currently at around 290. So another card subject to, the kind of current correction that we're in, dropping a little bit in price. But terastallized Pikachu I thought was an interesting, when you look at the pack art, is the only terastallized Pokemon on here. So Pikachu potentially being featured. I just don't know. The set has me a little bit confused, right? As to what it's going to be exactly. Once again, theorizing based off of the pack art and stuff like that. So that's where we're at with the Pikachu. We did also get a Haunter card recently, illustration rare, just to go off of with the Gengar. This didn't come out. This was in that deck. This was a deck promo, right? People were buying the deck just for the promo card, at least on the English side, right? And you can see this is a promo number 027. So this wasn't in Mega Evolution. It wasn't in Phantasmal Flames. It was a deck promo. Currently around $23. Has dropped. It was selling as high as $35 when the deck first came out, and now we're seeing it around $23. So, we also have gotten a good Haunter illustration rare recently. We did get a Ghastly illustration rare not that long ago that also featured Gengar in it as well as a Meowth. So there has been some love there, but I just wanted to mention that this card came out. It's kind of been like stuff getting released in different ways. When imagine if this was in Phantasmal Flames as well, that really would have made more sense, but that's not what we ended up getting. And then also too with Lucario, so this is where you can kind of make maybe some clearer theories. So Lucario being on the pack art as well. We just got, now this is even more recent, we just got Mega Lucario, a special illustration rare of him fighting Venusaur. So I don't think we're going to get another SIR of Lucario. Great looking card, by the way. I think that this really just lines up with this card. I think him being on the pack art means this, right? So, you know, get the text flying across, similar to the Charizard UPC promo that we got. So I think that that's what that means as far as for the Gardevoir and the Lucario. So from him being on the pack art, I think this is going to be mainly what we get. That would make the most sense, right? So Mega Lucario, also just as a little bit of a market update, this card is at an all-time low right now. Current market price of $213 for this card. It's dropped 41% since a high of 370. You can actually pick this card up for right around 200, which would be a little under the current market price. Lowest listed are right there at the $200 mark, and then it goes up a little bit. So Mega Lucario, where he's fighting Venusaur, which is a nice looking card, by the way, is at an all-time low. Just wanted to bring that up, you know, as a little bit of information. Here is a more zoomed in look of that Mega Lucario. So like I said, I think that this means that we're getting this card. I don't think we're going to really get anything else, but it is possible. We really don't know at this point. And then, you know, we have Electros also being featured on the pack art. Electros being heavily featured in Z to A if you played that game as well. But Electros just got a card from Black Bolt, an illustration rare not that long ago. Pretty new set, right? Number 115 out of 86. This card's dropped a little bit. It was as high as $20. Now it's at around 18. Lowest listeds are actually in the $16 and $17 range on TCG Player. So we also did get an Electros illustration rare recently. So once again, another thing, we don't know exactly what we're gonna get. So I don't know. Speculate in the comments. Let me know what your guys' theories are. Same thing. So Halucha doesn't have an illustration rare or an SIR. And more, this is the most recent Halucha that we got, a shiny Halucha from Paldean Fates. But you will notice here that if you look at the pack art, this is the Mega Halucha being featured here, which I think is a fun version of Halucha, if I'm being completely honest. He's got the whole luchador thing going on. It looks super cool. So maybe we're going to get an IR or an SIR of Halucha, which honestly I'm kind of here for. I think that'll be kind of cool. So that one, you know, it seems like that maybe makes a little bit more sense. There hasn't been a lot of Halucha love, and he was featured, you know, obviously in Z to A. So yeah, I don't think that this one is going to be the text across the card kind of, but it definitely could be too. Maybe he's getting both. I really don't know. There's still so much to be revealed about the set. So I would expect either a normal IR or probably an SIR, if I'm being completely honest, for Halucha. And then also just as a little bit of an update too, like I mentioned earlier, we're not going to get this card, at least in our English set, because obviously, you know, this is what we just got in the Mega Charizard, you know, the box right here, this guy. This is one of the promo cards there. And this card is currently going for around $68. So I don't think that this will be obviously in the Ascended Heroes side of, but these are a nice style of card. I do like them. I do think, and obviously having opened one of those Charizard boxes now and having this card in hand, I do think it looks great in person. So I'm a big fan of this style of card. I like the older, you know, the older Mega style cards that had the text going across as well. I know that it's maybe a little controversial. Not everybody liked them, but I always did. So I'm here for it. I like the comic book, more art style of kind of what those cards have been recently. So I think that's super fun. So Ascended Heroes coming very soon. We really don't know accurate like when the pre-orders are going to go live, when the official announcement's going to be, and all of that. I would, if I had to guess, based off of that, we're already in the middle of the week. Right now it's Wednesday as of this recording and this video going live. I would expect that we will get the pre-orders next week, if I had to guess. It's really going to depend on when the announcement is, right? I guess in theory, they could, I mean, because Pokemon hasn't really stuck to, in the past, they've stuck to a more rigid schedule, and it was a little bit easier to predict when things were happening. But things recently, they've been kind of throwing curveballs and doing things at different times and different dates. So we could see, I mean, it could be as early as announcement tomorrow, which would be Thursday, and then pre-orders on Friday. Definitely could be possible. We don't normally see pre-orders like that happen on a Friday. So I would guess that we'll probably see the announcement of the set next week, and then the pre-orders the following day, because it usually happens once we get the full English a reveal of the set and everything, the pre-orders on, at least as far as Pokemon Center goes, dropping the very next day. Now, with that too, keep in mind that when the pre-orders are going live on Pokemon Center, this is a specialty set in English, so there will be no booster boxes. So you will want to really prioritize those Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes whenever possible, just like you did with Prismatic Evolutions. We also don't know what the promos are going to be from that, so that's also super exciting. If we get some really good promos, or a really good promo from the ETB, that could really help, make that Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box a popular item. The set is looking pretty good. I'm still like skeptically optimistic about what the Mega Dragonite card is going to be. I'm not the biggest fan of the design of Mega Dragonite, but if they draw him right in the card, it could actually still be pretty good. So I'm excited for that. I'm still fingers crossed, although I'm getting less and less hopeful for this set. But I want a Gyarados card. Give me a Gyarados card. I want an IR or an SIR. So I don't know what to expect as far as that goes. But it's like a big old hodgepodge set of stuff that's going on. And I'm here for it. It looks like it's going to be absolutely crazy. So I'm very excited for Ascended Heroes. Also too, what do you guys think of the name Ascended Heroes? I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I don't think it's like, I think there's been some better names overall. I don't think it's bad though. Ascended Heroes. Maybe it'll grow on me a little bit. But I don't know. Maybe they could have workshopped it just a little bit more. But hey, you never know. Maybe it'll turn around on us. So Ascended Heroes pre-orders coming soon. And hopefully we will be getting more reveals here shortly. So make sure you stay subscribed to the channel with notifications on, because I do post a video every single day, whether it's Pokemon news, we got new cards coming out all the time, or market updates. I'll keep you guys up to date on the latest market trends as well. So that's all I have for you guys in this one. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. And remember, it was never a phase.